You wake up, you check your phone, another notification, another task, another form, another hoop to jump through. You call customer support, get transferred. You apply for a refund, get denied. You work harder, feel emptier. Nothing makes sense. And yet, you keep going. Welcome to the Kafkaesque nightmare, where the world runs on systems no one understands, and your suffering has no clear cause, no villain, no logic. This isn't fiction anymore. This is reality. And Franz Kafka predicted it all. Kafka didn't just write weird stories about giant bugs. He captured something far more terrifying. What it feels like to be trapped in a system that doesn't care whether you live or die, only that you follow the rules, even if the rules are insane. Today, we're going to explore how modern life has become a living Kafka novel, bureaucratic, absurd, and emotionally crushing. But more importantly, how to resist it. Let's dive in. Franz Kafka was born in 1883. He worked a soul-crushing office job by day and wrote surreal, disturbing fiction by night, most of which he wanted destroyed after his death. But the world didn't listen. Because in Kafka's fiction, people saw something disturbingly familiar. In the trial, a man is arrested and prosecuted, but never told what crime he committed. In the castle, a man tries to reach an official who summoned him, only to be trapped in a maze of endless paperwork and unreachable authority. And in the metamorphosis, a man wakes up as a giant insect, and everyone around him is more annoyed than shocked. Kafka's world is absurd, but not random. It's governed by rules, by processes, by systems that follow their own internal logic, even if that logic destroys you. Now, think about your life. Have you ever tried to cancel your internet service? Ever tried to dispute a medical bill? Or appeal a banned social media account only to get a bot reply? Kafka didn't predict the future, he just understood the human experience under inhuman systems. And now, we're all living in his nightmare. Modern life runs on bureaucracy, forms, portals, policies, passwords. You spend more time navigating systems than actually living. And like religion in Kafka's time, bureaucracy has become sacred, untouchable. Try questioning the IRS. Try getting a clear answer from your insurance provider. Try emailing support and not getting auto-responses that loop endlessly. You'll be met with silence, or worse, polite indifference. And here's the cruel genius of it all. No one's actively trying to hurt you, but no one can actually help you either. Kafka called this the logic of the system. Everyone follows the rules, and yet no one is responsible. It's why you feel like you're drowning in invisible quicksand. You can't name your enemy, because the enemy is the structure itself. And now, we've added AI to the mix. Kafka imagined a world where faceless institutions dehumanize people. But today, those institutions have literal artificial faces. AI doesn't hate you, but it doesn't care if you suffer either. You get flagged, banned, rejected, automatically. And appealing that decision? Good luck. You're yelling into the void. Your resume gets filtered out before a human sees it. You're denied healthcare coverage because a machine doesn't recognize your condition. You post a video and it disappears for violating guidelines. But no one will tell you which one. We're not just dealing with human bureaucracy anymore. We're facing algorithmic indifference. Not a cruel boss, not a corrupt judge. Just the machine. It's the trial, rewritten for the age of ChatGPT. And it's just as soul-crushing. But Kafka wasn't just describing systems. He was warning us about what they do to our minds. When you live in a world that doesn't make sense, when you try your best and still get punished, when nothing you do seems to matter, you don't just get frustrated, you start to lose your sense of self. Psychologists call this learned helplessness. Kafka illustrated it perfectly. His characters don't rebel, they comply harder, they follow the rules, they plead their case to deaf ears. And that's the horror. They still believe the system might help them, if they just follow it right. Sound familiar? That's modern life, replacing meaning with metrics, purpose with performance, hope with compliance. So, why do we keep playing along? Why do we keep pushing papers, refreshing portals, submitting appeals? Because the alternative is terrifying. If the system is absurd, if your suffering has no meaning, then what does matter? This is Kafka's true horror. Not that the world is cruel, but that it's indifferent. No villain, no justice. Just rules that mean nothing and consequences that mean everything. And yet, Kafka's characters never stop moving. They don't give up. They don't escape, but they resist. And that, right there, is the key. The philosopher Albert Camus said, "The absurd man is he who is aware of this crushing fate and who rebels by continuing to live." Kafka's stories end in despair, but they are not hopeless. They are mirrors. They say, "You're not crazy. The system is. You're not broken. The world is absurd." And once you see that clearly, you gain a new kind of power. The power to stop asking for permission, to stop seeking validation, to stop waiting for clarity from a system that was never meant to make sense. You start creating meaning instead of begging for it. You stop trying to win the game and start writing your own rules. So if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever felt like life is just a loop of forms, replies, delays, and denials, if you've ever questioned whether the system was designed to work at all, you're not alone. Kafka was there too. And maybe, just maybe, the first step toward freedom is realizing the absurdity was never your fault. But your response? That's yours to define. Because in a world that makes no sense, the most human thing you can do is keep going anyway. If this made you feel something, drop a comment below. What part of modern life feels the most Kafkaesque to you? And if you want more content like this, subscribe, because we're just getting started and the system is not ready for you.